Hello, good morning. Happy Tuesday to everyone out there, whether you're watching us on Facebook or catching us on YouTube. Welcome to T3. T3 is something that we broadcast every Tuesday here from our studio in sunny Phoenix, Arizona, and it's all about tools, tips, and techniques. I try to come to you every Tuesday and just share some things. Maybe it's something I just figured out recently, maybe it's an old tried and true, but irregardless, we're going to have fun every Tuesday right here. So welcome. I am Kim Kesti, Creative Director at Fun Stampers Journey, and I'm super excited for this T3 because it's going to be introducing a little bit different product. All of our fans out there in FSJ land know that traditionally we use Fun Stampers Journey product, but recently, as of a couple months ago now, we've combined our shopping with Spellbinders on the same website. So it's super fun. All of the FSJ fans can shop Spellbinders products, and the Spellbinders fans can check out some of the new things that Fun Stampers Journey has to offer. So super fun when you visit either Spellbinders Paper Arts or Fun Stampers Journey and you click shop. Voila, there you are. Everything combined together because we think we're better together, and we hope you think so too. So today I'm going to be using some Spellbinders stamps. Super fun. In fact, one of their designers is named Stephanie Lowe. Super amazing artist. And she has a brand new line which launched, I think, about a week ago, maybe less than a week. A new line of stamps called Just Add Color. How fun is that, right? That sounds totally up my alley. Just add color. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to grab those stamps. I'm going to grab some of Fun Stampers Journey Liquid Colors, and it's just going to be this fun match made in heaven. Do you guys want to check it out? First of all, let's take a look at the liquid colors we're going to be using today. Fun Stampers Journey has a bunch of these colors, and they're really concentrated dye ink is what these are all about. They're water-based, super fun, come in different colors. You can dilute them, you can use them full strength, you can use them in so many different ways. Today I'm going to show you actually 3 different ways that you can use liquid color combined with the Stephanie Lowe stamps. So I'm super excited about that. Let's kind of budge these up a little bit. I'm going to show you a few of the stamps that I'm going to use today. This is what her stamps look like. They are all mounted stamps. Some of them I already have on blocks, but you can see by the amazing graphics here that these are going to be just perfect to add color to. Again, her collection is called Just Add Color. This one is called Large Peonies. I'm going to use that in a minute. This is an amazing floral heart. It's called Floral Love. Absolutely love it. And this is one that I'm going to be using. I'm going to actually be using the idea for this one. I'm not using the stamp today, but one thing I did want to point out on the packaging for all the Spellbinder stamps, super cool. Check it out. When you flip over the packaging, it comes in has a clear sheet inside, but when you flip it over, you get all these amazing ideas. Every single packaging product has a project on the back, so I love that. One of the designs that I did today is from inspiration to from this packaging. So I wanted to point that out. It's a little bit different than Fun Stampers Journey packaging. We don't have actual projects on ours. So I think it's pretty cool that they have projects. Gives you like this instant boost of creativity, right? So super fun. Wanted to point that out. But let's grab one of the stamps that I thought would be super fun. I've already kind of taken this one apart. Maybe Roy can zoom up here. That's pretty tiny, but awesome, Roy. This one's called Botanical Feather. And you can see that it's got all these 6 different stamps in it. So I've already kind of taken the packaging apart, but here's the great big feather that I'm going to use first. So I'm going to do the super easy classic thing of just stamping it in our black licorice ink. This is our black licorice ink. It's just a really fun, dark black ink. And our inks here at Fun Stampers Journey are hybrid inks. They're a combination of pigment and dye. So they're going to be water resistant. You can heat set them if you want, but I did not heat set any of my projects, and they turned out just marvelous. But look how gorgeous. So the Stephanie stamps are red rubber, and again, they're indexed and they're mounted on foam. So if you are familiar with Fun Stampers Journey, they look pretty much identical to the stamps that we have also. So let me see, I'm going to grab 3 of my daubers. Now what I did was I just grabbed 3 of our tiny little mini daubers, and I keep these daubers separate from my ink daubers because unlike our regular ink, our liquid colors, like I just said, are water-based. So I don't want to combine these daubers with the daubers I use with our ink. Does that make sense? So I keep this in a separate container, but The colors I'm going to use today are Lemon Drop. Because these are so concentrated, you don't need a ton of ink on them, okay? I'm going to grab Cool Pool. That's the next color. I'll maybe lay these out so you guys can follow along. And then I'm going to use Limeade. So I'm kind of going with a cooler color palette here, except for that Lemon Drop, I guess. So Cool Pool, Lemon Drop, and Limeade. You guys see all three of those? In case anyone's taking notes or anything, I don't know why I think you are, but irregardless. Okay, so now I've got my 3 daubers. I'm going to start probably at the bottom of the feather, or I guess I should say the top. Is this the top or the bottom? This is the bottom of a feather, right? You guys will have to school me. Which is the top? Anyway, I'm going to start at the base. I guess I'll call it that. And now when I'm adding color to the stamped image, it is easy as dabbing it into the liquid color and then just brushing it on. I'm just using a little circular motion. And you can obviously see that I'm not worried about going outside the edges. I don't really care about that because I'm going to trim this guy out. Then I'm going to come at the top of the feather, what I'm considering the top, and come in with my Limeade. Again, the color is so concentrated you barely need any to get it on there. And then Cool Pool, I'm going to go in the middle. Oh my gosh, I just put it in the wrong thing. Oh, yay. Let's get some of that green off. I need a little more Cool Pool. Too much green, Kim. So now my dauber has both colors on it. That's okay. The idea is that you can blend the colors too really well, and of course I'll show you my finished project. But I love how you can come back on top, maybe come in with more of the yellow and just blend it up into the blues and greens. And then you get all kinds of new color families. So that's about the easiest way that you can add color to one of our stamped images. Now what I would do is I would just come along and fussy cut this guy out. And I'm not going to take all the time in the world to do it, but just come along with your little detail shears. These are detail shears from Fun Stampers Journey. The best scissors ever, by the way. We just love them around here. So just go along and you would go ahead and trim all the way around your feather. Now what's going to be fun is that the stamp set has these fun little accent stamps, like these 2 little branches. Again, if you can see all the little stamps that they have in here, I picked out 2 of the more solid looking branches. And so once I cut my feather all the way out, I want to have a few little accents behind it. So I thought that was kind of a fun way to make that feather pop a little bit more. Go ahead and take the smaller branch, kind of stamp one up. So this will be right here, my card base. So I want to go ahead and stamp just a few little accents. I can kind of tell where my feather is going to fit in between. See where I'm going with this? Super fun. So these are on the card base, and then when I go ahead and add my feather on top, I'm going to pop that up with some foam squares. And then one more little tip before I show you the finished project. I have the sentiment stamp here, and this is from the Fun Stampers Journey Letterboard Sentiments, one of my favorite sentiment sets. I'm sure if you've watched any of the T3s that I've had in the past weeks or months, we know that Letterboard Sentiments is one of my very favorites. But in this case, I wanted the sentiment to be a little bit quieter than what's on here, so I'm going to give you a quick tip on how I did that. If I can hold it right side up. I went ahead and grabbed some washi tape. So this is just one of our regular washi tapes. What I'm trying to do is get to where I can just have the word thanks instead of the thanks so much. So this is a super easy way to do that. I'm going to mask off the so much because that's the one I don't want. And then I'm going to go ahead and ink up. Now this is going to be hard to see because this is clear pigment. I want to emboss it, but I think you'll get the idea. Once you ink up the thanks, of course there's ink on the tape now, so you want to remove the tape and then go ahead. I'll just pretend I'm stamping it here, which again, you won't really be able to see because it's clear. But when you stamp it, you go ahead and have just the word thanks stamped, which is what I did for the finished card. Do you guys want to see it? We got to like move along. I've got 2 more techniques to show you. So exciting. Okay, so here is my finished card. The one more little accent that I did add was some of our silk. So this is our Cool Pool silk. And you can see that I kind of have just a few little flecks kind of following the shape of the arrow. So I have Cool Pool Silk there. And again, here's my feather with that ink. Again, just using the little mini daubers. And then there's my little sentiment that I did emboss with the clear powder. The white powder with the clear ink. So pretty, right? I mean, that card really does not take any effort to add that gorgeous color to that stamp set. You don't have to be especially skilled at coloring. You don't have to have this perfect, idea of how it's going to turn out. Just daubering that color on just adds so much pow and so much effect. I just love it. Okay, I'll show you all the cards again later once we finish them, but moving right along, so fun here. I'm going to go ahead and grab this guy. Excuse me one second. I'm just going to kind of wipe off. By the way, these clear sheets, a lot of these come with our stamps at Fun Stampers Journey, and they also come with the stamps from Spellbinders. So save these sheets. I use these all the time for doing some of my fun techniques. Okay, so now I'm going to want to take one of our just basically larger panels of whipped cream cardstock. And another way to add color with liquid color is what I call kind of our smooshing technique. It's so much fun. I think you guys will love it. Some of you may have seen something similar on one of our past videos, but it's just a technique that's really fun and kind of classic. Now this is one of our little media misters that I have water in. I'm just going to try to pour just a little bit of water out. All right. And then I've also got a water brush that I can kind of move this around. I'm not going to use the water brush to apply the color, but I can kind of move this around, spread it out. Maybe you can add a little bit more water. So I just kind of want this spread out all over. And then I'm going to take my whipped cream cardstock and just do exactly what it sounds like. Smoosh the color right into it. So this is not watercolor paper, so it is just going to kind of absorb the liquid ink. And you can see that the liquid color is really, really fun and intense. Now that's watered down quite a bit. And you can see that it has that really awesome vivid color. There's hardly any left on this sheet. I did wipe off a tiny bit. But the great thing about the liquid colors, now I can come back and go ahead and layer some other colors on. I don't have to wait for this to dry, and it's going to give a really fun layered look. You can of course also use the media mister as it's meant to be used and just spritz it too. So I'm going to dip it in again, but I'm going to try to go for these spots that are plain. I don't already have a bunch of ink. But isn't it pretty how it layers? I love how the color layers and slightly blends. It doesn't blend a ton, and that's what I want. I want it to kind of lay one on top of the other. I love that look. Now I've got Sweet Pear. I should be showing you the colors that go along here. Sweet Pear. I'm basically doing a basic background, and then I'm going to stamp on top. So I want to have a variety of colors available to me all over. Blot that one a little bit. So when I come back and add my stamps, I have a lot of cool options. Love that. I'm not even going to clean this one off because the Sweet Pear is awesome mixed with Cool Pool. I don't mind if it blends a little bit. So again, every time you just add more water, I'm using the same sheet. I'm just coming back and dipping it all over again. And you can get some different areas. This is kind of fun. It's just like playtime. You can just come and add color and dip and dunk and have so much fun. What do you guys think? Is it pretty? Are we done? You can add as many or as few colors as you want. I am going to stamp some larger flowers from Stephanie Lowe's collection, so I like that there's lots of pink. But again, once this is dry, then I'm going to be able to pick where I want to stamp my flowers. Let me show you one that I did earlier that's already dry. So this one doesn't have quite as much color, but the liquid color will dry slightly lighter than it shows right here. So this is one that I did probably an hour ago, and it's nice and dry now. You can kind of flatten it, rub it against a hard edge, flatten it if you need. But, so what I did is I took the large peony stamp set from Stephanie. So this has 2 giant flowers and then this kind of little bunch of flowers, and this little stem I used in a different way, which I'll show you in a second. But let's go ahead and pick this one. This is a little one that has a combination of flowers and leaves on it. So you'll be able to see what I said about placement. So I kind of like that these leaves are right here. I might want to capture some of the blue there. So again, they're indexed so you can see. So I'm going to stamp that guy right here. Isn't that pretty? So I'm picking up some of the blue on the leaf part and some of the pink here. I love this peachy color. That's the banana cream that we saw over here. So it's dried right here. So let me take one of the flowers. They're also pretty. Seriously, I love these. And I love how inky my fingers are getting too. You know it's fun if your fingers are getting inky. Okay, so this is the largest peony here. And then again, I can just kind of decide where I want it. I want it a little bit peachy, a little bit pink. I can kind of flip my papers around until I get right what I want. Look, it's so gorgeous. I mean, that did not take any effort, really, and no precision. I think sometimes people get afraid of coloring or adding color to things because I think they have to be perfect or it has to be so precise. But really, when you're doing kind of this more mixed media look, it's just all about getting the color on there. Now, granted, you don't want to combine too many colors so it looks muddy. So kind of be thoughtful about what colors you mix, but it's really about getting the color on the paper. And in this case, stamping on top. I love how that looks. So pretty. So I go ahead and do the smaller flower too. And then, like I said a few minutes ago, you just kind of come in and we call this fussy cutting. Just come around and cut out the shapes of every image that you want to do, etc., etc. Love that. And then remember I said that this stamp set has this guy, this little leafy branch. So remember I was inspired by the back of this other packaging. I love how the designer has done this in the white embossing, the branches all the way around. So I thought, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it with this branch. So let me show you my finished project. I'm going to kind of walk you through what I did. Here it is. So you can see all my little flowers have been cut out. Love it. And then on the very bottom of the back, the card base, I just took 3 of those little branches from the stamp and just embossed them with white powder. So it's really, really popping when it goes on that black cardstock. I mean, that just really jumps out at you like nobody's business. Love it. I did also use some of our sparkle silk. I guess I didn't bring it here. Same type of product as our Cool Pool silk. Only we also have this in a clear sparkle, which I just love. And it's called Sparkle Silk. So you can see as I kind of tip the flower there. Yep. Awesome, Rise, catching some of that gorgeous sparkle silk. So it shows up really pretty on the flower. It also shows up really nice on the black cardstock too. So love that extra little glitter. And then in case you're curious, the little Just For You stamp sentiment is from our Remarkable You stamp set. There it is at the very bottom. Just for you. So cute. So isn't it fun to mix and match the Spellbinders stamps with the Fun Steppers Journey stamps and the FSJ Liquid Color with the Stephanie Lowe stamps? I just love the mix and match. I'm having so much fun with it. So super cool. Second card. Now I've got to quickly show you one more. Do you guys want to hang around and have one more? Let's do it. Let's do it. So this time I took the large Floral Love. Remember I just said I was in love with this thing? So this is the Floral Love stamp. And I just went ahead and stamped it on. Let me grab another panel. Stamped it on again, just a whipped cream panel. Quickly do that for you. And this time I'm going to use the liquid color in what I probably consider the most traditional way, but super fun. I'm actually going to stamp this off the edge a tiny bit, which is kind of weird, but I love how it turned out with the finished card. Let me get that ink all the way into that paper. So pretty. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of our little bloom palettes. So this is our little product we carry, just a sweet little color palette. And then I'm just going to take some of our liquid colors and put a couple drops in each little petal. So I'm going to use banana cream and watermelon. Again, you'll see how concentrated these are. You don't really need a ton of product. This is orange creamsicle. So the banana and the orange go really well together. The watermelon, let's do a couple greeny shades. Sweet pear, and I could do limeade or Cool Pool. I think I'll do Cool Pool. Kind of our blue-green aqua color. All right, So now I'm going to grab just the water brush that I used earlier. So this is just a blending brush and it's just filled with water. I can kind of squirt it out. I can use my little plastic if I want. I don't know where it went. Oh, here it is. Kind of as a little palette, you know, to squeeze your brush out. So you can squeeze your brush because it has the water in it and dilute this. And look how much, you know, dye it has in it. You barely need to have any drops, like I said, and it still is a really, really pretty color. And then I might come in the banana cream and dilute that. And like I said, the orange and the banana go really well together. So you can kind of mix and match them. Use your color palette to your advantage to get just the right color you want. Now I'm just coming loosely and just watercoloring. I'm just going to come in and I can grab a little bit more orange. And this is when it's just playtime, just have fun. And again, you don't have to be super exact with the coloring. If I go a little bit outside the edge, totally fine with that. Does not bother me at all. And again, the liquid color layers really nicely, so I'm going to kind of let that first layer dry for just a minute. Maybe I'll switch over to my pink, my watermelon. Again, doing it whatever intensity you want. And you can practice down here. I'm going to be cutting this heart out, so you can kind of see, you know, what color you want, depending on how diluted you go. So maybe I'll come back and do these larger flowers in the watermelon. And again, just have a loose wrist, come along, have fun. Do the other big one. And again, once your flower dries, then you have the opportunity to come back and do a second layer. So let me show you on the orange. This is not quite dry yet. I might, you know, typically come back a little bit later when it's a little more dry. But I'm taking a little more orange creamsicle. Now I can come around the edge and just darken it up. So that just gives my flower a little bit more dimension. And again, if it was dry, you would really see the difference. But you don't want it too dramatic. You know, you just kind of want to get that pretty look where it's getting shaded. And again, maybe coming back with the watermelon a little bit more. Kind of follow the lines of the stamp. And come in and just darken some of those edges. Super fun, super pretty. So you would continue on, and again, I would come in with the leaves and do some of the green, maybe some of the sweet pear, you know, early on, adding some of the cool pool on top. Just again, whatever color combination tickles your fancy. So I won't keep you here while I color every little bit of it. But one thing that I do like to do once the project is pretty much completely colored, I can come in and loosen up some more of this, like leftover cool pool right here. And I can almost use it as like a little splash. So again, I'm just kind of tapping it on my water brush, and it gives me some fun little splatters. Because guess what, guys? I fibbed. I actually wasn't cutting this one out. I kind of forgot that I had not cut this one out. I used some of the splashes, and I used this actually for my card base. But it's all good. Would you guys like to see the finished project? I think you would. You see my mess I made here, that's for sure. Let's grab the card. Okay, so there's my half-colored one, and here's the one I finished. So super fun. I think you can see some of the shading here a little bit more as it dried. I do love the little splatters, though. I think that's so fun. And to finish this little guy off, I did use another one of our Fun Stampers Journey stamps. That is the embroidered greetings. So it's kind of fun. It looks like a little stitched greeting. I thought it went kind of sweet with the heart right there. And can anyone catch what I did with the little tiny accents there? But I think this was also inspired by one of the projects. I'm not sure if it was this one on the back of the peonies. I know that a few of the projects had these really fun little white accents. So do you guys want to know what I did? I didn't bring it here because my paint was drying in the other room. But I just took some of our white acrylic paint, and I just used the end. There's different ends that come with a bloom tool, like the little ball end. I don't think I have it here, but I just dipped it in and did little tiny white dots in the center of my flowers. I thought that kind of tied in the white of the whole card project and just made that little added pop of color there. So super fun. I'm having so much fun. Can you guys tell? All right, let me bring all 3 of my finished cards back in. And we will be posting these on our blog over at funstampersjourney.com. And we will certainly tag Spellbinders with their fun hashtag, which is called Never Stop Making. I love that. So check it out. 3 different ways to use liquid color. The smooshing technique, a traditional coloring technique with a water brush, and applying the color with a dauber, one of our mini daubers. So wow, was that like speed crafting? That was so much fun. I don't like to keep you too long on our T3s, and I know a lot of you do watch the replays, so that is super exciting. Please consider sharing the video if you like any of the techniques that you saw, if you want to share with your fellow crafters or your friends. And if you're over on YouTube, also consider subscribing to our channel. That would be really fun too. In the meantime, I hope that you just add some color to some of your projects very soon. And again, tag us at Fun Stampers Journey or at Spellbinders. We'd love to see your projects too. So have a great day and enjoy bringing paper to life.